Dibolito, de Bella, Varela, Hari Hari, ¿cómo están? We say that we're going to, Jorge is going to read, going to say Om Namo and this, and then we go to the next verse, which I don't know which number was. Who's going to read? You guys decide.
Doesn't matter to me. Whatever Devesha wants.
Oh, whatever you want. Yeah, I don't have good pronunciation, so if you're okay, better you do.
Varela.
Okay, I'll read. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Let's see, this is we read yesterday. No, we didn't read this one, no?
No.
Okay.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 2, Verse 6. Savai pumsa parodharmo yato bhaktir adokshasaje ahaitukya prahithata yayatma suprasidati.
This verse, Acharya speaks so nicely. This verse is so beautiful. And it's a nice verse also to memorize. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaye ahai tukiya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. Beautiful, beautiful. Every verse, every letter here, Acharya takes the part and it's gorgeous. So anyway, you read and then later maybe if I remember some of those,
Okay, translation. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Purport. In this statement, Sri Sutta Goswami answers the first question of the sages of Naimisharanya. The sages asked him to summarize the whole range of revealed scriptures and present the most essential part so that fallen people or the people in general might easily take it up. The Vedas prescribe two different types of occupation for the human being. One is called the pravritti marg, or the path of sense enjoyment, and the other is called the nivritti marg, the path of renunciation. The path of enjoyment is inferior. The path of sacrifice for the supreme cause is superior. The material existence of the living being is a diseased condition of actual life. Actual life is spiritual existence, or Brahma Bhuta existence, where life is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Material existence is temporary, illusory, and full of miseries. There is no happiness at all. There is just the futile attempt to get rid of the miseries, and temporary cessation of misery is falsely called happiness. Therefore, the path of progressive material enjoyment, which is temporary, miserable, and illusory, is inferior. But devotional service to the Supreme Lord, which leads one to eternal, blissful, and all-cognizant life, is called the superior quality of the occupation. This is sometimes polluted when mixed with the inferior quality. For example, adoption of devotional service for material gain is certainly an obstruction to the progressive path of renunciation. Renunciation or abnegation for ultimate good is certainly a better occupation than enjoyment in the diseased condition of life. Such enjoyment only aggravates the symptoms of disease and increases its duration. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality. For example, without the least desire for material enjoyment. Therefore, devotional service to the Lord. Oh, wait, I just wrote that. One should, therefore, accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of the devotional service of the Lord without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruit of action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. We have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. A living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna is the central pivot of living beings, and he is the all-attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in that transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction.
Very nice verse. So the whole goal here is complete satisfaction. The whole goal of this is complete satisfaction. So imagine somebody who already have that obtained and knows the flavor of it, and and want to share with others, and we say, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, it's so far from where we are, almost like you're trying to explain somebody the flavor of a gulab jamun or a rasagula. If you haven't tasted it, it's like very hard to explain the experience of it. So imagine Prabhupada that. So this is the first thing I if you start reading Bhagavatam with the intended intention, that they basically is to purify the heart, to be satisfied, to be happy. Otherwise we see, the devotees, they've been for a while with us. We think it's all penance and renunciation and torture almost, like what do they want from us? It's like, this is just like, just to torture us, that's all, But then we see the intention is full satisfaction. The intention is full happiness. The intention is to be peaceful, to be, so that's the intention. That we cannot see is a different thing. At least when we can see from the reading the intention. So Savai Punsa Paro Dharmo. I like this part. I say, to Bhakti Bhakti is devotion, but it can be to anybody, Bhakti doesn't mean Krishna. Bhakti is just devotion. And then here see Adokshaye, to the one who has the lotus like eyes, it's very, very, very beautiful verse. Charity explains it. I will find it for you and I will just send it to you, that piece, because I think I cut it a piece because it's so beautiful. Ahayatukiya Pratyatha, uninterrupted and unmotivated. So like, we don't want to gain anything in exchange, I don't want to, because I think especially in India, well, in America, in South America, or America also, that people want something from God in exchange, I do this, I go to church. I used to do that all the time when I was younger. My school was Catholic, and on the way to school, there was the La Gruta de Lourdes, as a place for, the Virgin Mary manifested. So I will go, before I was an exam, I will take a candle, I will stop by the Gruta de Lourdes, I will put a candle, say, please help me read, take the exam, So that was it's a business, so I have a relation with God, which, okay, I had a relation, it's better than not having one, but it was always for something, Now I want a boyfriend, now I want this, So you go and the supermarket of God, and then you offer something in exchange, in that my case was a candle, and now I offer flowers and food or whatever, but I want something in exchange. So here this verse says that the supreme Dharma is not saying that you cannot do that, but it's better than nothing. Any relation with God is better. It's going to purify, even just that even if you want something in exchange. But it says that Savai Punsa Paro Dharma, the most exalted Dharma, is that one who is done to the Krishna, to the lotus eye, personality of Godhead, and Ahaitukiya Pratyata is uninterrupted. So we continuously do it without interruption, and is unmotivated. We don't want something. And then say Yayatma Suprasidati. There's is a full bliss, completely satisfied, Suprasidati, by which the soul, this is the word we're looking for, Suprasidati. You can put it in your logo at the two, Suprasidati, completely satisfied. This is what the Bhagavatam is about, And so it's very, very nice. I like this verse a lot. I used to memorize the verse by remember which each word meant, and then I could memorize it, But then I thought I said, oh, I got it now. No, I don't. I forget it again. But now when I read it, it's like, yeah, I know this verse is so nice. Anyway, any other comment, you guys? Want to read the next one?
No? Yeah, I can read the next one.
Devesha, you want to say something?
Oh, maybe Devesha wants to read the next one and we take turns.
Yeah, Devesha, read the next one. Come on.
Okay, that's good. Sure. Section Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayotaha Janayati Ashu Varyagam Jinam Chajat Ahatukam. Translation. By rendering devotional service unto this personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Purport. Those who consider devotional service to the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna to be something like material emotional affairs may argue that in the revealed scriptures, sacrifice, charity, austerity, knowledge, mystic powers, and similar other processes of transcendental realization are recommended. According to them, Bhakti, or the devotional service of the Lord, is meant for those who cannot perform the high-grade activities. Generally, it is said that Bhakti cult is meant for the Shudras, Vaishyas, and the less intelligent woman class. But that is not the actual fact. The Bhakti cult is the topmost of all transcendental activities, and therefore it is simultaneously sublime and easy. It is sublime for the pure devotees who are serious about getting in contact with the Supreme Lord, and it is easy for the neophytes who are just on the threshold of the house of Bhakti. To achieve the contact of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is a great science, and it is open for all living beings, including the Shudras, Vaishyas, women, and even those lower than the low-born Shudras. So what to speak of high-class men like the qualified Brahmanas and the great self-realized kings? The other high-grade activities designated as sacrifice, charity, austerity, etc., are all corollary factors following the pure and scientific Bhakti code. The principles of knowledge and detachment are two important factors on the path of transcendental realization. The whole spiritual process leads to perfect knowledge of everything material and spiritual, and the results of such perfect knowledge are that one becomes detached from material affection and becomes attached to spiritual activities. Becoming detached from the material things does not mean becoming inert altogether, as men with a poor fund of knowledge think. Naishkarama means not undertaking activities that will produce good or bad effects. Negation does not mean negation of the positive. Negation of the non-essential does not mean negation of the essential. Similarly, detachment from the material form does not mean nullifying the positive form. The Bhakti code is meant for realization of the positive form. When the positive form is realized, the negative forms are automatically eliminated. Therefore, with the development of the Bhakti code, with the application of positive service to the positive form, one naturally becomes detached from the inferior things, and he becomes attached to superior things. Similarly, the Bhakti code, being the supermost occupation of the living being, leads him out of material sense enjoyment. That's the sign of a pure devotee. He is not a fool, nor he is engaged in the inferior energies, nor does he have material values. This is not possible by dry reasoning. It actually happens by the grace of the Almighty. In conclusion, one who is pure devotee has all other good qualities, namely knowledge, detachment, etc. But one who has only knowledge or detachment is not necessarily well acquainted with the principles of Bhakti code. Bhakti is the supermost occupation of the human being.
Hari Hari, Bhakti ki jai, Bhakti to Krishna. One more, Varesha.
Sure, nothing to say on that one?
Well, you know, there's just there is a lot of people who are detached, you know, or renouncers, and you know, but they sometimes they don't they renounce to the material things, but they don't attach it to something else, and so their lives are more dry, you know, they're not so satisfied also because they have detachment, but that's half of the equation, you know. Detachment, and then we have to attach to Krishna, you know, so that's the thing. But there's especially nowadays many spiritualists, you know, they are more simple, they renounce the material things, not too much. It's always ego and other things, and they're harder to renounce. But even if they renounce to other things, you know, if you don't attach it to Krishna, then they won't be satisfied. That's basically what it is, you know. And also the knowledge is, here it says, causeless knowledge. So all of a sudden, you know, haha, you like that? No need to read, no need to study, you know, all of a sudden, you know, because it says causeless knowledge. I imagine it's more the understanding who you are and who Krishna is than the knowledge of how to, you know, make a cookie or something, you know. It's not material knowledge per se, even though it's part of the equation. I think it's more like understanding the transcendental knowledge, you know. But it doesn't say, it says knowledge, so. But Radhika Ramana, remember now, it says knowledge is defined by that which is different than illusion and is for the well-being of all. That's the definition of knowledge according to the Bhagavatam. We read that in the beginning, but it's good to have it in our heads. When we talk about knowledge, is that which is different than illusion and is for the well-being of all. So if it has these two characteristics, it's knowledge. If it has not knowledge. So this knowledge, you know, is causeless, revealed to somebody who is serving Krishna. So anyway, that's all the comment I have.
What does Radhika Raman say about the controversial statements?
They asked him about it. I think they asked him that question. See, like here, the woman or the least, whatever. The thing, this was written 5,000 years ago, and so and 5,000 years ago, the ladies will not study the Vedas. Remember, I told you the Vedas you need to study for 12 years and pronounce everything perfectly, and you have to be very rigorous. And if you pronounce one word wrong, you know, you will be bad. So the women were not assigned to that kind of duty because they had assigned the duty of the, you know, housewives and, you know, taking care of that. So basically, the Vedas were not available for ladies. It was not available not because they were. It's just because the society was structured that way, you know. Even here in our existence of 5,000 years ago, many years in the past, the scriptures were not given to the general people, you know, like the Bible and many scriptures were translated, were written, but they were not given to the general people because they was for the elite, you know. So knowledge always kept in certain circles for certain group of people. So because the Bhagavatam is accessible to everybody, they speak about the fact that this knowledge is for everyone, even those who were before assigned not to be, you know.
So you're saying the men were gatekeeping the knowledge.
Yeah, but that was part of, I mean, you have to take in the context it was given us, you know. And so if you look at the context where historically, you know, what was happening there. The problem is we read this now with our heads for 2024, you know, woman liberation and women's right and all that. And then we see this doesn't match. Okay, now change your hat. It's not 2024, it's 5,000 years ago. Okay, and then what happened then? And in reality here, Prabhupada was defending the no, this knowledge is for everybody. Stop saying that, you know, and so basically he's defeating that. But we read one sentence says, less intelligent woman, and we stop listening after that, you know. And then the next verse is Prabhupada said, but this is not the case, you know, this is not the case. So he makes a point that this is not the case. And the scriptures is full of stories of ladies who control their husband in many ways, you know, and tell them, you know, what to do. Acharya speaks a lot of that. How, you know, the scripture has women who are warriors and who are like, you know, so we don't emphasize on that because when we got this knowledge, some men in our movement took advantage of those sentences and exploited them, you know. So they obviously you can, you know, like you can, Acharya say, you can take the Bhagavatam and take any sentences and make a whole, like, you know, the Bhagavatam said, okay? Like say that sentence, you take it out of context because the next sentence, the Prabhupada say, no, that's not the case, you know? And so if you take the sentence about the woman less intelligent and you take another one and take another and make a whole essay and quote in Srimad Bhagavatam, and you have your agenda, you present your agenda and you prove it, yes? But that's for people who don't know enough. Because if you know enough, you know all these stories, and you know all the woman who you know, who told the husband, no, you know, I'm not going to do that. I don't remember who was it, but Prabhupada Acharya said, I remember the story, I don't remember the names, but one of them wanted, the husband wanted to keep having children. She said, no, I'm not having more children. That's it, that's the end of it, you know. And so like that, you know, I mean, we don't hear about that, no? We don't hear about, you know, one of the Krishna's associates who are very personal, is very not submissive, not, you know, there is all kind of women in there, and they're leaders, and they're, you know, but you need to know the whole story, and you want to know, you know, if you want to know all the story. Somebody asked Shamunacharya Goswami the other day, I gave the Bhagavad Gita to a woman, and I read the woman something, and she stopped. But I said, keep reading. Anybody who wants, keep reading. If you're curious, keep reading, because there is a lot on there. It's not just a sentence, and you need to understand the context in what's given. So that's my take on this, and a little bit of
I mean, unfortunately, in this day and age, a lot of people have that reaction, right? They see something they don't like and they immediately stop.
That's okay, but the thing is that that's okay. But the thing is that you need to understand, okay, you stop this, who could give you full satisfaction, knowledge, and so on and so forth, and you stand with what you have. That's your choice. Your choice is always there. But then you, unfortunately, won't get the relish, the nectar that is here waiting for you. You don't want it, it's fine, for whatever reason. Sometimes it's because it says that word. Sometimes because a devotee says the other word. Sometimes it's because, you know, whatever, that guru fell, you know. I mean, you can have excuses all day long, you know. But if you understand, like we're reading here, the mood of the Bhagavatam, the intention of the Bhagavatam is to make you satisfied, to make you happy, to make you peaceful. Do you want that? Okay, let's see what else is there. I mean, yes, that is not good. I'm not saying that those things are good and we should applaud them. No, but they should not distract us. They're also, you know, I was telling somebody yesterday, it's like those things when you run and you cross over, bashas in Spanish. I don't know how to say in English. You know, the runners who run with obstacles and they have to run.
Oh, yeah, like you jump over them.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what they're called either.
In Spanish, they're called bashas. In English, I don't know. But anyway, so though, you know, if you want to see, you can run normal, you can run with the hoops, you know. And some people, like Radhika Raman, born in a family with devotees, and for him it's like, you know, like no problem, no bhashas. For some of us, a lot of bhashas, and some higher bhashas, you know, and some, you know, you stay there, but you know, at least you got it to that point, let's say, you know. And some they fall with the bhasha, you know, they stumble and then they stand up and keep going, you know. That's me, I will say, you know, you stumble and it's like, oh, and then you keep going, you know. And why we keep going? It's because we know and we taste the difference. If we didn't taste the difference, neither the three of us will be here. We don't do this because somebody told us. We don't do this because we have to. We do this because we like it, because we have something here. We enjoy it. So if we enjoy it, it's something enjoyable, yes? And so if it's something enjoyable, maybe it's enjoyable for more people. We say, yes, we should tell more people. Now people do have to want it. If they don't want it, it's fine. But we do have something which is sublime. And there is a lot of blockage from here to Krishna. It's a lot of blockage from here to Krishna. But the material world is more full of blockage. If you look at the material world, oh my goodness, look, the wars, deception all the time. Now Trump, the president, is in court, I mean, talk about the material world, we talk about the devotees be like this and that, but if you look at the material world, if you just open the newspaper any day of the week, any day of the year, there is a movie called Bad Education, where the people in the institution were taking all the money for themselves, There is another movie about, people cheated to get to college, all the famous and rich people were paying just to get the kids to don't do the work and just pass the college. There is corruption in every corner of the existence, but we don't look at that. I mean, we look at that and we complain, but we still with that system. And this system that it has the flavor, and you don't have to wait too long to experience the flavor. We don't have to wait after death to experience the flavor. You already experienced the flavor. And so, here we have something tasty, something good. It's just even talk of prasad, and it's very tasty. Holy name is very beautiful. That's why it's so popular around the world. It's tasty, it's good. And then we have the Bhagavatam, which is Bhagavatam give you this rich understanding. This is also about being satisfied, kindness, love, devotion. This is what it's all about. And so you choose. Devesha?
On the topic of the women and men, the differences of what I have read, please correct me if I am wrong, but of what I understand, that really, if we see in the spiritual realm, from spiritual perspective, that's really like Atmas. At the final stage, we are all women. And if a man is thinking that a man being like a man because he is in the body of a man is really kind of thinking that he has differences with women, it's really like a material illusion. Because the spiritual realm are all the same women, because the only man is Krishna. So if we study like profoundly Srimad Bhagavatam, it teaches this. It's like speaking on the differences of the man and women is really inexistent, because it's just material illusions that tricks us now.
Yeah, but at the same time, Acharya also speaks that the movement needs more woman influence, because the body of the woman, not talking about the soul, like you're right, the soul, we are all equal, but we live in this world, and this world we have certain activities we can do. And he said Lord Chaitanya was Krishna and Radha together, the perfect balance. And they say ISKCON is very tilted to men, like if you look at the heavy and all that, and therefore the ways to solve problems are very men-like, and women have different ways to solve problems, and the lack they are not present affects the way we resolve the problems we exist in our movement. And so basically, yes, what you said is not denying, but at the same time, we need to live in this world, and we need to understand that we have to have equal rights,
Yes, like women is always, when there is organization with women, more women is successful, because it's women always drives the emotional part of everything, and really makes it all together very, very, very well. Because if we go with men that are always like theoretical and stuff, it gets too structural and too too empty that it's not, it gets like unbalanced.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, women bring a lot of things, many perspective, and there's as many different women as there is so many different men, you know. And so Charity advocates strongly for women in our movement to be more present, you know, and they have say as gurus and this and the other. He's the biggest advocate I know for women to have equal rights in our movement. And so we'll say, if you're a spiritual soul, why we will do that? Because we live in the material world and we need to function the best way possible, and the best place possible is to have a balance between the genders. So the problem is, like I said, you can get anything you want from the Bhagavatam and you can make your agenda for it, you know. But if you know the whole Bhagavatam, like Acharya and many others know so much the Bhagavatam, you know there is no distinction, because exactly that, because if you know you're emphasizing the bodily part instead of the spiritual part. And in the scripture we have Queen Kunti and Rukmini and so many Ambika, so many ladies who were make a whole different history because of what they did or how they did things, you know. So anyway, this is a big debate, and our movement, like Catholics are the same. Catholics are the same. One of my nieces, I mean, I went to school, Catholic school in Argentina, where, and then my siblings went, and then my nieces now went there, and they have the nuns leaving the school, you know. And then one very young nun left the nunhood because they forced her to wear the clothes, the robe, you know, and she didn't want to wear the robe, you know, because worshiping God doesn't have to do with the clothing. So most practitioners of any, I would say of anything in reality, you know, they're the orthodox, you know, even in physics, you know, the orthodox physics, they don't want to see anything about quantum physics because, you know, this is not. So people who are stuck to some ideas, they want to hold it and stay there forever, the way it is, you know. While people who understand that we are changing, things are moving, you know, we need to include this. We're not talking about 5,000 years ago. You guys are not doing the fire sacrifices all day long, reciting mantras from day to night, you know, and women, we're not getting pregnant and having kids left, right, and center. So, you know, the society changed. So as the society changed, we should adapt to the changes, you know. But many people are more orthodox. There is orthodox in everywhere. There are fanatics everywhere. So, you know, we are not, it's not the material world is better than the spiritual path, you know, because in the material world, there's fanatics everywhere. We have the same problem in most institutions in the government, you know, they're changing, but slowly, the rate is a slow change, you know, it's not changing like, oh, we got it. And anyway, but everything is hard to change. Last thing I want to say, because otherwise the parish is going to fall asleep. They discovered a woman many years ago in England, did a study to find out what kids have cancer. And then she found out that the rich kids have cancer, not the poor kids. Normally it's not associated with poor and whatever. So she discovered that the problem was X-rays, because rich woman will get X-ray, while poor woman will not get X-ray, and so the kids will get cancer. So how many years it took for them to change making X-ray to women? How many years do you think it took? Give me a number.
I don't know.
25.
Exactly 25. Yes, Varisha. 25 years to change. Imagine. So something we know that needs to be changed, and this was killing people. I was not talking about, you know, ego, like a woman needs to be there and it's better. No, killing people. She has all the data. She has all the proof. She has all the statistics. She hired a statistician to disprove her. She hired somebody to disprove her. Maybe she was wrong. Maybe she was not on the right track. She preferred it not be right. 25 years. Now, obviously, you don't get X-ray if you're pregnant. Yes. 25 years. So we think about material world, you know, why we don't change this? Why no women are here? Because it takes time. People are very attached to what they know. They don't want to let it go. They don't like to go. So we are going to see the change. Maybe I don't. Maybe you or your kids will see it. But it takes time. So we should not stop from wanting to have the change. She didn't stop for 25 years. She continued. And then it happens, you know. So we should not stop promoting women to be who they are. We cannot promote a woman to be a leader or to be a guru. She doesn't want to. We cannot promote a woman to have a baby she doesn't want. We cannot promote anything. We just promote what is your nature, what is your tendency, and there are women who are leaders, and there are women who are guides or gurus. They are naturally like that. So let them be. What rules and regulations like everybody else, not just because your qualifications that you're a woman. That's not a qualification. This is, so that it should not be used the other opposite side, like, you're a woman, therefore anything. You can do anything here. I want to be the head of the JVC because you're a woman. Excuse me, no, that's not how it works, It's just, they should not be discriminated because they're a woman, yes? They should be looked at what is needed, who has the capacity, and then look equally at all the people who have the capacity to choose the best. Maybe sometimes the best is a woman, sometimes it's a man. They should not be discriminated in that sense, But if all
and it's a fact that emotional intelligence is right now, if you have a good emotional intelligence, you have success, let's say in business or whatever. And also emotional intelligence is what women best controls because it's their nature. And also emotional intelligence is involved in the love, and Bhakti is about love, everything. So how are you gonna say that women is like the most important part of all this movement? It must be like that. I think so.
Yeah, we can, like I say, we can debate. I mean, we can, at least we should not lose the track. We should not, sidetrack, we just keep going. 25 years later, maybe, actually, after 92, after I think 10 years, 92, 2012, 10 years. 10 years took Acharya speaking before women could stand next to each other in the temple. 10 years just for standing next to each other. 10 years, the JVC Pada rule, a woman need to be standing next. 10 years of him advocating that.
Yeah, that's insane.
But that happened. And now what happened is there. So now the next battle is, and somebody has to be the bad guy. Somebody needs to be the one speaking, Women vote now in society, in the material society, because somebody stood up for that, So it's not that we can say, no, we are spiritual souls and it should not matter. Yeah, ultimately it should not matter. If we read too much, the woman is too concerned that I'm a woman, then you're going to be a woman for many lives, So we should not be so attached to that bodily identification. At the same time, we have to be practical. We live here, and there is a society running with thousands of devotees around the world, which is led 99.9% by men. And so obviously the society will have problems because of the inclusion of women. But also we need, historically, this is everywhere. It's not just the Hare Krishnas, it's in the Christians and in society in general, in politics and education, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. And so we're part of society. So our movement reflects society, and society is changing. So we want to change, but changes take time. And so we have to be patient and don't put the flag down, Don't surrender to, it's okay. No, it's not okay. I'm not going to stop doing my bhakti or service because of that. I'm not going to stop from practicing. But so I think that's what we need to be. And we have enough people to help us with this. We're not alone, And so we just need to be focused. When somebody says something, we need to be there, just saying straight how it is, No, this is not okay, And it will take time. Some people are going to die, and the people who die are older and more, structured or, orthodox. And then Acharya says the example that happened in science. In science, the same thing happened. When people are attached to a philosophy of science, and they're attached to that theory, they literally had to die before somebody new can come and move it to the next level. So it happened everywhere. So we think like these are special and different. It's the same everywhere.
It's comfort zone is the main barrier for the progress.
I like that statement.
I read it yesterday. I was like,
yeah. Okay. So we should keep our heads up and encourage anybody, and anybody who gets distracted by these things and want to stop practicing what will give a satisfaction is sad for them, you know. It's unfortunate for them. We should encourage them, keep looking. There is more to that. Let's look, you know, those 6 questions we've been reading yesterday, we should have it in our front head. You know what philosophy is about? It's for the well-being of the whole planet. This is for internal satisfaction, the knowledge. This is for the things that are like, you know, pure. Your happiness now is stopping from miseries. Now explains in there, you know. So we have something a little, you know, that will give you full satisfaction, and you can taste it right away. You don't have to wait long. Just don't let these stumbling things, barriers stop you. Just jump over, and you will see. The more you jump, the more you see. Oh yeah, oh okay. I see a lot more than I used to see before, you know. So this is part of the process, I think. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. You shouldn't ask me to talk, Marisha. This is what happens. Let's offer a respectful obeisance to all devotees Vaishnavas of the Lord. They are like a desire tree, able to fulfill everyone's desire, and full of compassion for the conditions of child. I don't know if you want to chant still after so long. Yeah, and here, nice to see you. Thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow, same hour, same channel. Thank you, people on YouTube, for seeing us, and hopefully join us in the conversation. If you want the Zoom link, send me a message and give me your email, and I will send you the Zoom link. I don't want to public, but you can text us. Some people are watching us on YouTube, so that's why. Okay. Awesome.